Karaniya Mataku Salena Yanda Santam Badam Bismija Sego Ujuja Sujuja Suajoja Sa Mudu Anadimani. It is the first stanza of the noble Mitta Sutta Parida expounded by Lord Buddha. Nirvana is blissful. That blissful Nirvana we want to achieve. The state of calm we desire, and Nirvana have to be realized. A yogi, a practitioner who realize the advantages, he or she have to practice. The practice of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, moral conduct, concentration and wisdom have to be performed, and yogi have to be secure, yogi have to be capable, and a yogi have to be uju and suju. Yogi must be frank and honest, yogi must be upright and very upright. So today we have to go to the second and third of the preliminary part, that is uju and suju, upright and very upright. Yogi must be honest, yogi must be extremely honest, uju and suju. In the beginning, yogi come to practice faith and conviction in the practice, and he is uju, he is upright. And later, something wrong, the strength of faith and energy decrease, and his practice not very well, and faith in the practice and energy go down, he cannot be suhuju, very upright. In the beginning, yogi have faith and conviction in the practice and energy flowing very well, and he have to maintain his practice, he have to maintain his energy constantly, and practice going very smooth. He is called Suhuju, very upright. For the monks, ordained bhikkhu, initially he have strength of faith in the practice, faith and conviction in the practice, and he practice very well. The monks practice very well. He observe his moral precepts and try to practice meditation constantly. That ordained monk is uju. Later, virya, energy goes down, and then practice not very well, and faith in the teaching is at low level. That ordained monk is cannot be called suhuju. He cannot be called very upright. We have honesty only once in our life is uju. Only one time we upright. But we have to make effort repeatedly for the whole life to be honest. So we can be called suhuju, very upright. In our younger day, we are honest, and later, due to the environment, we change. We not practice very well. If we not practice very well, if we not practice Sila, Samadhi and Panya constantly, we are not very upright. We are not suhuju. So only by practicing without defect throughout the lifetime, suhuju, very upright, will remain intact. And we have to explain Maya and Sateya in Pali. Sateya means when one pretends to have certain qualities and make other think highly of him. So such kinds of lobha, such kinds of attachment is sateya. Maya conceal one's faults and pretends to be faultless, whereas sateya pretends to have non-existent qualities. If you free from sateya, you are uju, you are honest, you are upright. Pretending to be virtuous, though he is not virtuous, and then he is called sateya. He pretend to have good practice, he pretend to have concentration and vipassana insight knowledge, though he have not concentration and vipassana insight knowledge, he is called sateya. Pretending to be learned, though he is not learned, and he is called sateya. All such pretenses are called sateya. If you free from sateya, you are honest, you are upright, you are uju. Maya is one kind of tanha, attachment. What is the nature of Maya? Maya is like a magician. Just as the magician picks up a stone and makes the audience believe it to be gold naked. Just so, Maya conceals one's faults. It means one who exercises Maya pretends to be flawless, though he is not. If you free from Maya, you are extremely honest, you are very upright, you are Suhuju. Both Maya and Satya are trickery and deception. They are not Uju, they are not Suhuju. So pretension of having possessed the attribute which he is not really endowed with, that pretension is Satya, and if you free, you are Uju, you are honest. And if you are extremely honest, if you are free from fault and pretension, you are Suhuju, extremely honest. In other words, you are not cunning from the point of view of physical and verbal behavior. You are Uju. You are upright. You are honest. You are straightforward. And you are mentally not crafty. You are not mentally cunning. You are Suhuju. You are very upright. You are extremely honest. So some people may think that Odimang or that Sayadaw as Arahant or highly enlightened person. People believe, people respect as an enlightened one, and people do offering or donation to that ordained monk. So if that monk or that Sayadaw accept these donation and offering, that monk or the Sayadaw is not Suhuju, not very upright. If he reject the donation and offering, because people think that he is an Arahant, but he is not Arahant, so he have to reject. So that ordained monk is very upright, extremely honest. In practicing meditation, the qualities of honesty and uprightness are fundamentally important. Nowadays, people declared and people claim that they possess the attributes of the special Dhamma which they have not yet achieved. So this is dishonesty, and such a person who makes a false claim under pretense, we have no chance of making progress in his meditational practice. And these people never think other people are higher or honest. So the kinds of people, teacher, we also find it difficult to help him. In the practice, we have to be very honest, and sometimes practice is not very well. The mind wanders. We have to say to the teacher very honestly. Only when he is honest, teacher will be able to guide him on the right track. If he sincerely and resourcefully meditates as guided by his teacher, very soon there will be develop of his progress. Yes, naturally we are not honest, and thanks to the meditation practice, when we practice meditation, we can straighten our mind and we can purify our mind. Surely, when we practice meditation continuously and resourcefully, the mind becomes straightened gradually. Finally, the mind is totally purified and the mind is totally straightened. When yogi practice diligently, mindfulness and concentration improve, then mindfulness becomes very strong. As a result, it seems as if plunging into an object that arises. Yogi comprehends each object clearly and singly. As a result of insight knowledge, a brilliant light will appear to the yogi. There arises also in yogi rapture. It produces in him a subtle thrill and exhilaration. Yogi feels as if on a swing. There arises tranquility of mind when practicing sitting, walking, standing, lying. Yogi feels quite at ease. At that moment, yogi is free from stiffness, heat, and pain, because yogi inside knowledge penetrates objects with ease. Yogi's mind becomes sound and straight, uju. At that moment, yogi wish to reject all evil. He does not accept any unwholesome. Through firm faith, yogi's mind is very bright. Moment by moment, yogi pay attention to the object very carefully and continuously. So yogi reach that good stage. That is, yogi reach the stage of knowledge of rise and fall, Uddiyabhaya Jnana. This stage is very smooth for the yogi. When reaching this stage, Passaddhi, Lahuta, Mudita, Kamanyata, or Pakunyata, Ujjukata. That means calmness together with buoyancy, gentleness of mind, adaptability or readiness to do what is to be done, observation and familiarity, and also Ujjukata, honesty. So these beautiful mental states become very clear to the yogi. We want to explain these 12 universal beautiful mental states according to Abhidhamma. First, follow my recitation to remember 12 beautiful mental states. Kaya Passaddhi,
Kaya Passaddhi,
Citta Passaddhi,
Citta Passaddhi,
Kaya Lahuta,
Kaya Lahuta,
Citta Lahuta,
Citta Lahuta,
Kaya Mudduta,
Maya Mudduta,
Citta Mudduta,
Citta Mudduta,
Kaya Kaminyata,
Kaya Kaminyata,
Citta Kaminyata,
Citta Kaminyata,
Kaya Pakunyata,
Kaya Pakunyata,
Citta Pakunyata,
Citta Pakunyata,
Kayu Jukata,
Ada Jukata,
Cittu Jukata.
Citta Jukata.
So in Pali, these are 12 universal beautiful mental states. We have to listen details. So these 12 universal beautiful Cetasika fall into 6 pairs, altogether 12. First one is Kaya Passaddhi and Citta Passaddhi. So Kaya Passaddhi and Citta Passaddhi. What is Passaddhi? Passaddhi means tranquility, calm. Kaya here does not have the usual meaning of body, our physical body. Here, Kaya means aggregation, a combination. In other words, Kaya here means Nama Kaya. Nama Kaya means simply mental states. So Kaya here actually means mental states. So Kaya Passaddhi, what means? Tranquility of mental states or tranquility of Namakaya. Citta Passaddhi means tranquility of consciousness. So Kaya Passaddhi, Citta Passaddhi, a tranquility of mental states and tranquility of mind. Yes, we have a lot of restlessness and worry in the beginning. These are disturbances in the practice. In Pali, they are called Dharata. But when we practice meditation with respect, everything quiet, and you reach the stage of tranquility. So Passaddhi, the characteristic of Passaddhi is quieting down of mental disturbance in the mental body and consciousness. When there is Passaddhi, tranquility, it will crush mental disturbance and you are peaceful, you are cooled down. And the proximate cause is the mental body and consciousness. When there is Passaddhi, when there is tranquility, there is no mental defilements as restlessness and worry. Now you very peaceful, no worry, no restlessness. When there is restlessness and worry, we don't have tranquility. When there is Passaddhi, tranquility, we have no restlessness and worry. Now you reach the stage of Uddiyabhaya Jnana, you start to see the rise and fall. That knowledge is Uddiyabhaya Jnana, knowledge of rise and fall. And then another beautiful mental state, Kaya Lahuta, Citta Lahuta. Lahuta means light, lightness of the Cetasika and lightness of the Citta, lightness of the mental states and lightness of the consciousness. When there is lightness, there is no heaviness. We do not physical exercise in the meditation retreat, we only practice just walking, sitting alternately, not physical exercise intentionally, but we practice walking. It is enough. But when your practice going very well, you very light because practice subside heaviness in the mental body and consciousness. So when you reach this stage, practice crush heaviness. So it is manifested to the yogi non-sluggishness. Yes, we have to encounter Tinamida, sloth and torpor many times. When sloth and torpor arise, we become heavy. First, our eyelids become heavy and then they overpower us. So we become a very heavy thing. But when we practice continuously and when we are alert, the practice going very well and there will be lightness in your body and mind. So during doing wholesome deeds or during practicing meditation very well, between wholesome thought process, there are not too much gaps of bhavenga, that is life continuum, and there arise wholesome impulsion thought process, that is kusala javana viti, arise continuously. So when wholesome impulsion process going and arising continuously, you become light and your mind is very light, that is Kaya Lahuta, Citta Lahuta. Due to your practice, you obtain another beautiful mental state, Kaya Mudutta, Citta Mudutta. It means softness. Softness here means malleability. It means you are not rigid, compliant, because you have no wrong views and conceit at that moment. When there is wrong view, we are very stubborn. We don't want to give up our view easily. And when we are conceited, because we don't understand the true nature, the nature of change, the nature of impermanence, we are very proud. We are rigid and we are stiff because we do not understand the true nature of impermanence. When we have mana or conceit, we don't want to bow down, we don't want to respect, and so they are rigid mental states. Now you practice, get rid of all these deity and mana. You have cleared wrong view and conceit. So beautiful mental states, Kaya Mudutta and Citta Mudutta, you can obtain. Due to your continuous practice, you obtain another beautiful mental state, that is Kaya Kaminyata, Citta Kaminyata. In the beginning, we have a lot of desire to the sensual object, and we cannot do what we like. We cannot manage what we like. We cannot handle what we like. Now, due to the practice, you can subside unwieldiness. Now you can manage your mind very well. You can handle your mind very well. So the simile given here is gold. When gold is purified, it becomes wieldy. It becomes pliable. You can shape gold into anything without there being resistance. If the gold is hard, it may not lend itself to being made into different kinds of ornaments. So first, a goldsmith has to purify gold by treating it with fire. When the gold is purified, you can make it into any ornament you like. The state of such a thing is called wildness, kaminyata. It is agreeable to being shaped. It is agreeable to being made into anything. So due to your diligent practice, you can crush unwieldiness. So there is success of the mental body and consciousness in making something an object, because you get rid of remaining mental hindrances, that is sensual desire to the sensual object. So you gain kaminyata. You can handle, you can manage your mind easily. With confidence in the practice, you come here and you practice very resourcefully, and now you become well advanced. Now another beautiful mental state, Kaya Pakunyata, Citta Pakunyata. So there are three meanings of Pakunyata. First one is straight, and second meaning is proficiency. Another meaning is being in a good state. So it is healthiness of mental body and healthiness of consciousness. Nowadays, people are saying healthiness of mind. Always, kaya pakunyata is translated as proficiency. So it is healthiness of Cetasika and healthiness of Ceta, healthiness of mental states and consciousness. Now you are very healthy in your mental body and consciousness because you are free from the lack of faith in the practice. In the beginning, our faith is not too strong, but when you hit the object many times, you understand the nature and you can enjoy the practice and you are free from lack of faith. When you do not have faith, when you do not have mindfulness and so on, your mind has a kind of disease. You are sick in the mind. Your mind is not healthy. But now your mind is healthy because you start to see true nature of mind and matter. When you start to encounter the nature of change, nature of suffering, and nature of unmanageable, you become upright. This is Uju. Here, beautiful mental states are Kayu Jukata, Chetu Jukata. Uju means straight. Ujukata means straightness, rectitude, or honest, straightness of mental body and straightness of consciousness. So now meditator is not tricky, not curvy, not crooked. It's very straight and there's no crazy and fraudulence in the meditator's mind. So it is stated that at one time a yogi had reached the stage in progressive insight knowledge. That yogi made a confession to the teacher. I've done wrong to my friend. From now onwards, I will never commit such fault or offend him. So the yogi made a confess. So it is highly essential that a person, a yogi who is now practicing meditation should be really honest and frank, really upright and very upright. We already mentioned 12 beautiful mental states. We continue other preliminary path tomorrow. Not next day. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Satipatthana Vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses continuously and meticulously, may all practitioners obtain a beautiful mental state. May you realize the real peace in the very near future.